Alright there, my name's Tagg and I am the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and today I attracted another toxic player in a ranked game of Apex Legends. I seem to have a habit of picking these people up in my games, and I'm not sure why it happens, but when it does happen, it's normally a frustrated person who maybe isn't all that good at the game. Unfortunately, today's player was not one of those. No, I found myself playing with someone who had no time for gutter tier players, no intention of communicating unless it was to tell me I sucked and ran around the map as if I didn't exist, and yeah, he just had no intention of being a nice human being. Well, that was my experience, but before we get to that game, at the end of Season 5, we went on a ranked binge, and I asked the question on my YouTube community tab, do you think it's possible for me to reach Diamond before Season 6? I had 18 hours to achieve the goal at the time of that community post, and the votes were in. 42% of you said I'd make it, 58% of you thought that it was impossible. Well, here's what happened.
Taken 5.
As I stared at my 1 RP from Plat 1, I looked at my clock. It was late. I was tired. It was as if the gods were saying to me, hey, you suck. Don't waste your time. So I stared towards the heavens, tore off my shirt, beat my chest and said, it's really too hot. I'm going to bed. And yeah, you were right. I didn't make it. But thank you to the 42% of delusional subscribers who believed that I can be more. And maybe we could have done it, to be honest with you. I just left it too late to climb yet again. And so we began our ranked journey into Season 6 with renewed vigour and Rampart. But Rampart was taken. Story of my life. But don't worry, we do get her in today's video. We just have to start off with Lifeline, who I suppose was... yeah, she was becoming my main before the wielder of Sheila dropped in. But yeah, we dropped hot and I was feeling aggressive. Not necessarily the best plan when all gold players at this time were anything from Plat 2 to mid-diamond.
Opening fire.
I considered the heal for a moment, but I decided that a Superman punch would be enough to finish this fight. I was wrong. Yeah, totally wrong there. But finally we got a hold of Rampart, and I have to say I had no idea what I was doing at all. And in the previous video that I put up on the channel, I actually filmed that after this one. So if you notice me being somewhat worse today, it's because you're viewing the footage in a different order to what I've actually uploaded. Also, I suck, and This, of course, doesn't make for the best combination when your teammates have the tolerance of protruding hemorrhoids, but I was the only teammate available, and you either make the best of it or you can whine about it and, you know, make everyone miserable. Of course, those of you who know me, you've already seen what I do with toxic players, and you may have already noticed that our Wraith has the Apex Predator trail, but in the early part of this game, I had no reason to suspect anything. Now, as we looted Train Yard, I was just casually chatting away to my stream, just talking about the G7, saying how powerful I thought it was and how I was going to give it a try today, especially because I was on the raw end of it at the end of last season. I heard Bloodhound ask for an extended sniper mag, and then I realised both of them had run off northwest. No pings, just off they went, but that's my bad for not watching, of course, so I worked on catching them up. Now, this is something that often happens when people are in a pre-med. They're just talking over what they're going to do and where they're going, and they don't ping. But I wasn't convinced that that was the case here. I was just, you know, more the fact that was my awareness was that of a lobotomized tree sloth. Then, of course, what happened was that my teammates found enemies and decided to engage. Something that, of course, made me feel worse for being totally absent. And I'm not sure why I do this, by the way, but I always push forward on a controller or apply hydraulic pressure to my W key when needing to catch up, thinking that somehow I will move faster from it. But by the time I arrived, the fight was all but over.
The ring is close.
This was an absolute slaughter. Death boxes everywhere. Then our Bloodhound typed something. Give me devotion, okay? Please, fast. He must have been talking to the Wraith because clearly I didn't have a devotion. Then we had kind of a yellow flag incident occur. I was pretty low on energy ammo, so when Bloodhound pinged some, I was grateful.
Energy ammo here.
I'll take it, mate.
But then they picked it back up. And like a secret society, they huddled elsewhere to share the loot. So I inquired, are you guys in a pre-made? I'll do what I can, but I have 40 bullets for my energy ammo, so, you know, I'll back you up best I can, but I am low. I also had 59 ammo in total, but I usually shout out what I've got in my bag, not what's in the mag. Put walls. You're trash. You're calling me trash? Give me a devo. Why don't you use your microphone, pal? I don't have a devotion, I've got Volt. I still could not understand why this player was convinced I had a devotion, but we had found the toxic one for sure. Typing instructions while I'm healing up, refusing to talk on the mic, classic case of the voice line that Rampart yells while she's the jump master, and if you know what that is that I'm referring to, stick it in the comments below for a metaphorical cookie, and who knows, I might glance my gutter-filled eyes over the correct answer and click a pointless heart in your direction. What a splendiferous treat from a magnanimous fellow such as myself. Then, as the ring came in, I have to say something happened that I did not expect. Bloodhound showed us an enemy squad. And yes, I could have just jumped the crate right there and then, but I decided to be sneaky. Yeah, they were ready for me, and do you know why? Because we weren't the only one with a Bloodhound, and I'll be honest with you, I can't see a damn thing from the other side of that microwave. Bloodhound was right. I am trash. And because they're in a pre-made, you know, well, at least that's how it felt to me. My chances of getting revived here were about 50-50. Maybe they'd just let me expire to find out if I really had a devotion in my death box that Bloodhound was so convinced I had.
1 second, we got it.
As we crossed from Skyhook through the tunnel, Wraith put down her portal. Not a great time to reload the new magazine in case you get through the other side and... yeah. I went back for Wraith, hoping we had enough time. Then I had to work out how to use Rampart's abilities. If enemies came through this portal, they would be getting absolutely rinsed.
It's Rampart time!
Healing my wounds.
Healing.
Bloodhound asked for energy ammo, and as I slid down the hill drinking in my medkit, I felt a sinking feeling in my stomach. But I wasn't going to try and upset my toxic teammate, so went over to drop him some ammo. After all, we were a team.
Give me energy ammo. I'm killing
Energy ammo
everything.
here.
More. I'm gonna
Mate,
kill
don't be rude.
everyone.
Don't be rude now. Come on.
Give me all of your energy ammo.
You want it all?
Firing.
Have it, dude. That's everything I've got. I was starting to feel uncharitable towards our Bloodhound, but I set up the barriers anyway and then prepared for our fight. Turned out, instant karma wanted a word. A smile creased across my crusty, unwashed face, but then I remembered I had nothing but a scout that I had been utterly useless with so far. I'd given away all my energy ammo.
Ring's not far. Enemy down. Marking ours. Contact.
That enemy with the golden lockdown shield may have had ammo that I badly needed.
Enemy down.
I thought about the Prowler with the select fire, but honestly, I was just feeling that if I didn't put in the hours with this G7, I'd never come to terms with it as a viable mid-range weapon.
I need energy ammo. Contact with hostile.
Rings close.
Pepega Bloodhound putting in work with that devotion, and we set off to the next zone. Round 3 closed and into round 4, Refinery looked like the place for a final battle, and I found myself conflicted. Of course I wanted to rank up, of course I wanted to win my games, but winning a game with a toxic arse of a player felt like I'd be somehow enabling their behaviour for future games. It was a strange feeling indeed, one of the few times where positive RP left a bad taste in my mouth. People often ask me why I don't just go get a full pre-med or accept a carry from a higher rank, and I think these individuals just do not understand why I play this game. A rank is a badge, the journey is the juice of life, but right now we needed to close in on those squads and get the job done.
Giving my shield damage.
Father, give me sight. Getting shot at. Opening fire.
Whilst this game did propel me through to Gold 3, I couldn't help but think that this was one of those times where I wished for an avoid player function. Give me a couple of losers on the same page with a friendly attitude any day over being whined at by someone whose life must be in such an awful place to take their frustrations out on people in a gold rank of Apex Legends. I think it's best to be as positive as you can when you're faced with people who seem hell-bent on making you feel awful, and while I don't always manage to keep my happy face on around toxic players, I have a quote saved on my desktop background as a daily reminder, and it says this: "Control how you respond to things sent to destroy your peace." I think my YouTube partner manager told me that little pearl of wisdom, and honestly it really helps. Sometimes I do just tell toxic people to shove it up their poop chute, but I sleep better when I drop them whatever they wanted or just try and get through a game without arguing with them. Just kill them with kindness, guys. Anyway, let me know in the comments how you deal with toxic players. Do you temper their fury, mute them, tell them to wind their necks in, or does your intolerance have you straight up leaving the game rather than listen to a 20-year-old toddler tantrum? And what would you have done when asked for all your energy ammo by Pepe Bloodhound? Let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait to share more Season 6 stuff with you, so take it easy. Catch us on the next one. Later.